As a child of the 80s, I feel very lucky to have grown up in the era of the classic Saturday morning kids show. Transformers, He-Man, Power Rangers, to name a few, were huge time sinks for me as a kid. If I wasn't watching the shows, you could guarantee I'd be playing with the action figures, and I sometimes wonder if that's why the miniatures hobby came so naturally to me too. But alas, as a 30-something wistfully daydreaming away whilst typing this script, I realise with great sadness that I've never been able to actually combine these two loves into one. Until now! You can only imagine my delight when Anthony from Traders Galaxy contacted me and asked if I'd like to review their game Bot War. And so that's exactly what we're going to do today. Check out a cool little miniatures game from a tiny Australian indie company and decide what's hot and what's not about indie scale robot warfare, with an 80s cartoon twist. Bot War takes place in an alternative timeline where a global democracy has been overthrown internally by evildoers, only for the world to be put to siege by the Atlanticans. When the already fractured world looks lost to this new threat, the Valiants and their bots arrive from space to help defend the Earth against its new enemy. The rule system for the game is very straightforward, with each unit only having 5 active stats and a damage stat that acts like a life meter. Units activate in order of their strategy rating, meaning that turns can be either very back and forth or very you then me, if one player takes a lot of faster units compared to the other. What's really interesting though is the game's resource management system using energy cubes to power activations. At the start of each turn, players are given a pool of energy cubes and must assign them to each model for that turn. This creates a really interesting system, where you have to plan out your turn in advance, not knowing your opponent's intentions. So definitely a new dimension. I was sent the version 1 starter box for the game, however I was told at the time that version 2 was just about to drop, and indeed it has, so your version, if you were to go looking for this, would be updated compared to mine. In particular, Traders Galaxy did a lot of work on the rulebook for version 2, which is cool considering I already thought that this A5 rulebook from version 1 was pretty decent, to be honest. The game does use proprietary dice, which are typically a big no-no for me. The last thing I ever want is to lose the dice for a game and not be able to play till I buy more. Something to definitely watch out for, but of course not a deal breaker at all. And in fact something I kind of warmed to as I realised how much combat in this game reminds me of Hero Quest. I was also sent this cardboard city, which is cheap and cheerful at about 25 quid and produces enough terrain for an entire game board. I have to be honest, it is a little fiddly to build, and I initially wasn't in love with the look of it. Unlike with things like, say, the Corvus Belli terrain, the material is very thin, and so it felt a little flimsy. That said, once I'd built it and had some in place, I did warm to it a little more. I was more just concerned about its long-term lastability. I think since Traders Galaxy already sells some excellent STLs for terrain that's scaled correctly to the game already, maybe this should be the direction they more lean in? If the company really wants to offer a low-cost option for terrain that doesn't cheapen the look of the game as a whole, add a few tutorials to the core rulebook, with how to make a few simple buildings. I'm sure that would be super welcome, especially to customers who don't have access to 3D printers. But all in all, as a game offering, Bot Wars looks great, whilst I might level some criticisms about proprietary dice and terrain that I'm not necessarily keen on. The overall experience seems really engaging and lots of fun. Plus these folks really just get wargamers. The included accessories in the starter kit? Well, they come with this bad boy. A nice cheap and simple tape measure, branded up with the game logo. But we all know that what you really want to see is those beautiful bots, so here they are. And these things just ooze 80s charm, and they're also excellent quality. There was a little mould slip on one model out of 14 individual minis, and this cleaned up really straightforward, just with a knife. Take that, Forge World, you damn cowboys! But other than that, the minis are some of the nicest I've seen, and those super blocky but mega sharp details are just going to be a painter's dream for getting expressive, while still offering beginners a really easy starting point. And so of course it's inevitable that I couldn't resist painting a few of these up to show to you as they would be on a gaming table ready to go. So here's the ones I did. I picked my favourite mini from each faction in the starter box, plus my favourite of the 3 Beast Lords models that were also sent to me. Those don't come in the starter box, but they were a very welcome little addition. There's only a few times in my life as a wargamer where I feel like a game has captured a magical essence, something special, that I've never seen or felt elsewhere in the hobby. Recently I got to enjoy that with Infinity, feeling like its anime take on Cyberpunk was exactly what I've always craved, in a lore-rich universe that I could get my teeth into. Bot War does exactly this same thing, providing a hobby outlet where those 80s and 90s Saturday morning TV vibes jump out in every miniature. So if you want to check this awesome game out, there is of course a link below in the description to the Traders Galaxy website. And don't fret if you're outside of Australia, they do have stockists in other countries and those are also listed on the website, so you can find if there's one in your area. Also folks, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, to subscribe to the channel to enable notifications, and to check the links below for, as well as Traders Galaxy's website, all of my stuff that you can use to support me. I'd really appreciate it. So it could just be because it speaks to the era of my childhood. It could be because I respect the design and the simplicity of the rules. It could be because I got sent free shit in the post and I'm an absolute shill, but whatever it is, Bot Wars slaps.